Welcome in to another episode of Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast. I'm your host, David, and here with me are my co-hosts, Caleb and JD. But we got a special guest here as well, and that is Andy from the Galactic Core podcast, a good friend of ours. Welcome in, Andy.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Thank you very much for having me on. Much appreciated.
Happy to. And if you've been keeping up with our feed, you know that we just wrapped up recording the 2-year anniversary for Andy's podcast, the Galactic Core podcast. We did that with Krypton to Alderaan, Lights, Camera, Rant, and Clan Brandolorian. A few
Indeed.
solid podcasts out there, and that was a good time. So thank you for having us on. I think we enjoyed it. Love missed it. I missed last year's, so next year JD's going to have to miss it, I guess. But maybe
Indeed,
one time we'll get all three.
Yeah. I'm not allowed all three of you on at once. It's just unfair.
That's extra. Well, anyways, today we are going to be discussing some stuff that just dropped yesterday. We kind of felt like we needed to throw it out here on our newest episode because we got hit with some news. We had Star Wars Celebration drop some, who knows how legit of announcements they are, as we've seen in the past, but there were announcements, so we'll go over those. And then we saw one sneak peek trailer from Star Wars Celebration, and then 2 new Marvel trailers, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. So we'll briefly touch on that, give our thoughts. So before we jump into it, as always, follow us on the socials, check out our most recent episodes. We are Daredevil heavy right now. I think like 6 of our last 8 episodes are Daredevil because we're covering the show. We're doing a lot of comic coverage on it, so be sure to tune in there. And we just dropped our most recent Week in Geek, where we also, good lord, get it together, David. We also covered The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 1. Me and Caleb took that one on and gave our thoughts on that, so we'll be covering that sporadically through the season. I don't think we're going to be doing every single episode. It might be a Week in Geek hybrid, or we might cover a few at a time, but we will be watching. Going to have some crazy drops. We might have to cover next episode, actually. That's all I'll say. I've heard some stuff, though. But anyways, let's head on over to Star Wars Celebration. So we got some news dropped. Star Wars maybe is back again. Starting it off, we got word about Sean Levy. I think it's Levy. Sean Levy. He came out on stage with Ryan Gosling, officially set to star in Sean Levy's Star Wars film. It's described as a standalone adventure that takes place a few years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. And Jesse Plemons is actually rumored to be the villain, which I love that. He's in Breaking Bad. That's kind of where he got his biggest thing. I mean, he was all the way back in Like Mike. He was the bully in Like Mike. He's in the USS McAllister. I don't know if that's the right. Callister, the Black Mirror episode. He's the villain in that, and he is very unnerving in that episode. So I would love to see him in this. Yep, Civil War, and he was pretty villainous in that one too. And he was only in it for like 4 minutes, but he made you feel uneasy.
Date night? Friday Night Lights?
Yeah. How could Tostitos profit off of 3 for 1? He was in Friday Night Lights too?
Yeah. Well, he's the quarterback's best friend. Yeah. Goofy guy. Ramsey was like, something like that.
So, I mean, that's, again, I temper my Star Wars hopes when we hear announcements because of all the cancellations, delays, reschedules, taking off the schedule, whatever the hell it is. But seeing Ryan Gosling on stage, that's kind of a big deal. That's a big name to be coming into Star Wars. And I like the rumor with Jesse Plemons. So, Andy, you're our guest here. What were your thoughts on this announcement?
It was definitely a shock one. I mean, I love the fact that it all happens around about 3 a.m. my time in the morning, so I woke up technically this morning and just had to catch up on all the news. But my wife is happy, that's for sure. And yeah, to be fair, I'm actually excited. I've actually grown to like Ryan Gosling a bit more as he's got a bit older, and he seems to be doing projects that he just wants to have fun in and that he just really wants to do. So I can't believe we're going to get Ken in Star Wars, but I think I still think it's a good casting. I'm actually quite excited for this film.
Yeah. Love?
Yeah, same here. I mean, I love Blade Runner 2049. That's what got me onto Ryan Gosling for sure. So I'm excited for it. I mean, a standalone adventure a few years after The Rise of Skywalker. All right, I'll take it. I guess it could just be kind of something separate, but there could be, by the way the stormtroopers or whatever look. I guess it's post Rise of Skywalker. Who knows what's going on then, but there's probably some stormtroopers around. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope it actually gets to... It'll be out, 2027? So it's then one after Mandalorian and Grogu?
Yeah, May 28th, 2027. So 3 weeks after Secret Wars. It's beginning filming this fall.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, a little bit.
For both Disney projects?
I'm sure the dates won't stay the entire time. By the time we get to 2027, I'm sure one of those dates is going to be changed.
Haven't they done the same next year with Doomsday and then Mandalorian Grogu comes out like 3 weeks later as well? So you're going to be in all the hype of Avengers and then make everyone switch to Star Wars. It doesn't make sense.
Not really sure what they're doing, but JD, what do you think about this project?
Yeah, I like they have a lot of freedom if it's post Rise of Skywalker. They're not chained down by canon stuff, you know. It's a pilot story that makes me wonder what the hell the Patty Jenkins movie. I wonder if they're blending that into there. I see pilots and I really want Lost Stars, but post Rise of Skywalker doesn't make sense because you need that empire, like the empire, right? But yeah, I'm excited. They hire someone like Ryan Gosling. That shows they're spending some money for, you know, their acting talent. So they are pretty committed there. Sean Levy made a great movie, like probably the best movie this year. One of the best was Dune 2 last year or this year. Anyway, but yeah, man, it looks good. It's the most tangible Star Wars project that I've felt since Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. And the pilot thing. So I know Patty Jenkins said back in March of last year that it was back on the schedule. But I've yet to see Disney say anything about that yet. I haven't heard it mentioned other than Patty Jenkins' interview back then, and I'm not seeing it on these upcoming schedules, so I don't know where that project is at, but I do still hope it happens. I haven't heard anything since.
Because didn't they reaffirm that a bunch of directors are still working on their projects?
Yeah, but they
Taika
didn't name
Waititi.
her. So they named films from James Mangold, Charmin Aboyd-Chinoy, and Taika Waititi are still in the works, but they didn't
I'm
say
bummed
Patty
out about.
Jenkins.
The Taika part, that's kind of a bummer. Are you
Yeah.
sure you don't want to just quit, dude? A lot of other directors have quit their Star Wars projects. You could do the same thing.
A lot of people have quit and have said great things about it. You might want to try it out, but I don't know. Well, that was announced with the trilogy being confirmed from Simon Kinberg for Star Wars. So we've got 6 different kind of untitled. Well, James Mangold has the Dawn of the Jedi loose title, and Charmin's is the Rey movie, correct?
Yeah.
So we don't know what Taika's is. We don't know what Simon Kinberg's is going to be about, I don't believe. So again, unnamed Star Wars projects just don't really get me excited anymore, really, especially, you know, with the way Star Wars news rolls out. But they've got stuff in the works. And then we had one more announcement. And JD, it was coming, bud. You couldn't stop it. No, it's the wrong one. Blew it. Get out of here. Get out of here, Obi-Wan. I messed with the handle. Still wrong. I messed with the handle. It messed up with the circuit boards. And now the Darth Maul quote shoots yellow and all the quotes shoot different colors. So I kind of screwed up my lightsaber. Darth Maul, anyways, was going to be the announcement. It was supposed to be a quote and everything, but I choked on that one. So we got Maul Shadow Lord? Lords, plural. That's throwing me off. It is Shadow Lords. Oh, all right. So, anyways, Darth Maul project standalone. People got hyped up for a minute. I got hyped up seeing it for a minute until I, noticed the font and realized it's not going to be a live action Darth Maul, even though it's still a dream of mine. It's going to be animation. The title looked anime heavy, so I'm curious what type of animation we're going to get. Whether it's more Visions or more Clone Wars or something totally different. I don't know. But Sam Witwer will be returning. He obviously first portrayed Maul in Star Wars The Clone Wars. He was great in it. He later reprised him in Star Wars Rebels. And he absolutely embodies Maul. So anything you got Sam Witwer on, that's awesome. It would be super cool if they brought in Ray Park to do some of the mocap fight scenes for a few. I know that's kind of expensive, but they did it in the Clone Wars, and now I need to see it again. But it's going to be a new series set after the events of the final season of the Clone Wars, where Maul rises again to lead the underworld factions. So that is a story we've been asking about and wondering kind of, maybe if they did a live action, maybe we see that aspect. JD, what was your thought on this? Do you care? I know it's animation. It's not exactly your biggest thing, but
if it's as good as Clone Wars, I'm really satisfied. It's just, you kind of run the well dry with stories to tell with these characters and these eras, but if you really are committing to that grounded Darth Maul gangster stuff, then you could pull that off. You could do a totally isolated story like The Penguin or whatever, and I am excited. It is Darth Maul, so, the best animated stuff out there, like Clone Wars and the Spider-Verse stuff, is really good. So, it's freaking Darth Maul, dude. That's exciting.
Yeah. Andy?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Sam Witwer back because he does, like you said, he embodies Maul. He does such a good performance. I know a lot of people were calling to see what happens to Maul between Clone Wars and Rebels, but there is a long gap in terms of the amount of years between that. So, this is set a year after the Clone Wars, so how much of that gap they're going to fill in, I don't know. I think the only thing I'm not sure about is the fact that Dave Filoni can't leave these characters alone. He's obsessed with the own characters that he works on. He doesn't seem to really develop anything new, apart from Mando and Grogu, which was really under the stewardship of Jon Favreau rather than him. Dave Filoni cannot leave his characters alone. He's obsessed with doing his own stuff. And that, to me, sometimes gets a bit annoying, because I'm like, move past it, buddy. There's a plethora of stories. We need some original characters rather than constantly filling in the gaps of every character that you've got under your stewardship. So that's the only thing that bugs me is, do something new, buddy. Why are you going back and constantly rinsing all your old characters? Like, we're building up, obviously, in the Mando timeline at the moment to the finale film with Thrawn and for Mando and Ahsoka and all that stuff, and he just can't leave Ahsoka alone either. It's just kind of, come on, buddy, do something new, please. That's the only thing that bothers me about it.
Well, I'd say if you are going to go back to those characters, just commit and do a live action. Just go full on with the budget and commit fully and do it, because that I would be full in for. So yeah, I agree. Like, you're doing all your characters over and over. If you're doing it, just fully commit. Let's see live action. It's where Star Wars thrives.
And I do agree, and, you know, it just happens to be that Ahsoka and Darth Maul are, like, two of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time, so I don't mind it that much, but I do, obviously, he is very self-involved with those things. I have a question for you, Andy, before we get to Lub, sorry. If he made a Fives project, would you be interested in that?
Yeah.
He got him.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. It's all about the importance of the character. But to be fair, it's not like we've had a lot of Fives stuff, isn't it?
No, there's a lot to get into.
Maul is someone that everyone's interested in, especially the voice. So yeah, it has become iconic now. But don't over rinse these characters and make the legacy watered down, because by giving us mediocre projects that it potentially could be.
Love how you feel about it.
Well, even Tales of the Underworld is Cad Bane and Asajj Ventress, two more of his characters.
Did he make Asajj? I guess he did too, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Don't switch it up. Don't go too anime. I feel like that's going to kind of isolate it a little bit, where you don't get as much viewers, which we know Disney needs.
I hope they're not doing the show just to retrace those steps from Solo. I mean, my God, they made a book called Shadows of the Sith. They're all about retracing steps to try to recourse their mistakes. I hope that's not why they did it. They're like, this leads right to this end credit scene that you saw.
Yeah. Do we know who's running this? Like, whose project this is? Or do we just know Sam Witwer's involved? Because I didn't see anything else.
Probably Dave Filoni,
I guess
right?
Filoni, maybe. But, by the way, Asajj Ventress is not a Filoni creation. She was actually supposed to be in episode 2, and then they put Count Dooku in instead. But she was initially in the concept drawings for Attack of the Clones.
George.
Yeah, a little George creation. Well, you didn't really do anything with it, but yeah, he did start it technically. But Filoni, made her what we know her as, anyways.
Well, George technically started Ahsoka too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, there you go. Technically, it's a very small technicality. Speaking of more Filoni creations, as Andy mentioned, we have Mando and Grogu. This was a pretty big reveal.
Shit, Andy's getting something.
Yes, you don't have to make me feel bad. That's dope. That's dope. I love that. Yeah, so we got a sneak peek trailer shown only to the people in attendance. And, we just happened to son of a gun. Which one is that? Is that Vader?
Yeah, it's Vader. It's not like it's Maul or anything, but just to put you to shame for the red one as well.
We're going to have a talk later today, okay, Obi-Wan? But yeah, so we definitely didn't watch a leaked trailer. We were at the reveal in Japan at Star Wars Celebration, and we got to see this Mando and Grogu sneak peek trailer. But trailer was pretty cool. So it had a really cool score that it felt like John Williams. I don't know if it is or not, but it absolutely felt like a John Williams score. It felt magical to me. We got shots of snow stormtroopers gearing up in an AT-AT. Mando shows up, kicks some butt, takes down the AT-AT. We see some stuff with Grogu using the Force. Zeb's walking around with Mando. Cool little shot of Zeb there, our boy from Star Wars Rebels. Sigourney Weaver is revealed to be in Star Wars because she has to be in every possible major franchise there is out there. I'm surprised she hasn't. No, she has been in Marvel. She was in the Defenders. So she's literally in everything. So apparently she's an X-Wing pilot. She was kind of lecturing Mando here in a couple of these scenes. But the overall feel to it, I really enjoyed. I wasn't expecting much at all. I didn't even know I was going to see it, but I ended and I felt good. So I was happy about it. Andy, you said you didn't get one with sound. Oh, I mean, when you were there in attendance?
I saw a trailer that didn't have any sound to it. I don't know why, but so I just obviously got to see the visuals. Obviously, one shot scene of Mando inside the AT-AT, decking out all the snowtroopers, pretty cool. Grogu swimming and obviously using the Force to destroy the mouse droid were pretty funny. I do love the scene where they go and sit with Sigourney Weaver and he's just trying to force pull the food to him. It's like typical Grogu. That's brilliant.
Always works.
I'm not sure I'm buying Sigourney Weaver as a New Republic pilot, though. That doesn't look like it's a fit for me. So,
more like a
interesting to see what kind of role she's actually playing. But yeah, I mean, I was always going to be hyped for this movie, regardless of what anyone else was ever going to say. And getting to see a bit of footage now and realising that we're just about a year away from the film, it's like, come on, this next year is not going to go quick enough for this film.
Absolutely. Lub, how'd you like it?
I really like this trailer. I love the action with Mando. Got to see him out there again. Grogu still growing, getting older. But my biggest worry is just taking this from television to the big screen. I'm just wondering how they're going to up the scale. I'm wondering who the villain's going to be. If the rumored one didn't seem like it was big enough for...
Was it Endo? Was it Embo?
Yeah,
sorry.
like a Clone Wars villain, right? From
yeah.
the box episode. So... my biggest worry is just how are they going to translate this and make it feel like a big... It doesn't have to be like, I don't want to Thrawn and Ahsoka and they don't have to show up, but like, just make it worthwhile making a movie out. Don't make it like a 3 Mando episodes all into one. You know what I mean? That's kind of my worry.
I'm also not sure how they managed to get a shot of me at the end in my gladiatorial days, but they managed to do it somehow.
I didn't see. What was it?
Rot of the Hutt I was referring to, Love.
Love, you're saying I'm worried about it conceptually. Like they do these things where like, oh, we forgot these Clone Wars episodes, so here's a Darth Maul comic, or here's something the budget couldn't do, so here's a Dark Disciple book. So I'm kind of, that worry is there for the movie there. Like, is this just like a side mission that you're going to make with way more explosions this time? But I will say that this did feel much more cinematic. Like it almost felt like the best, like season 1, or in my opinion, the best of The Mandalorian, plus budget and cinema and theatrical like vibes. So that choreography with that first scene with Mando kicking ass was some of the coolest choreography in any action scene from Mando. I mean, it was quick. It felt like a movie instead of a show. So I was pretty excited watching this trailer. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're going to do a good job there. Obviously they look at the interwebs. They're not dumb. They understand that people don't love season 3. They love season 1. They love season 2. And they're throwing budget into this. They're throwing planning into this. I think this is more a part of their big plan with Thrawn and Ahsoka. But yeah, I'm worried about the side mission thing. Like, I feel the same way about Fantastic Four. Like, I want Doctor Doom to be developed a ton in that movie, but we're not going to get that. Like, I feel that way about Thrawn here. I really want Thrawn to be developed a ton. Like, I kind of wish he was the main villain. But you can't have that, and then leading to his climactic movie where he's the main villain again. So it might have a side mission feel, I feel like. How are you going to make it important? I totally agree with you there. But it does look fun. I'll give you that.
A Thrawn tie-in would be cool, though, at least, where maybe he sends someone down to take out Mando while he's, up in space, and we have a couple scenes with Thrawn. That would be cool, 'cause we do have the Mandoverse movie.
I feel exactly the same about Fantastic Four. At least something to develop him as a villain. At least 5 seconds of Thrawn in this movie. At least 5 seconds of Doom in Fantastic Four, please.
Yeah, we need to have a Thrawn cameo, I think, in this film, or something tying into like the Dark Council from season 3 to show that it's a connected film to the wider story of the Mandoverse going up to the Thrawn film. So it has to be a tie in there. Otherwise, like you said, it's going to give off side mission vibes, and we don't need that. There was no need to make a film for that. It has to tie into the wider thing just to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. I guess I do have some concerns for that. I wasn't really thinking about that, but yeah, I forgot that Embo was kind of the mentioned villain, which, again, as a side villain, sure, cool to see in live action. I don't care that much about the character, but yeah, I think we need to get more. But I don't find it taking away my excitement for it, which I'm surprised by because I'm very skeptical about Star Wars lately. But I don't know, I just love the feel of this, so I really hope that they just give us a solid Star Wars movie, and maybe the scroll. Give us a scroll again. JD doesn't want the scroll. Okay, no, he doesn't have to say anything to say.
I was going to say, just like, if it's not somebody trying to take Grogu or kill them, what else could it be other than a side mission? Like, what could possibly be? The stakes need to be high enough for a movie, So it does have to feel different. It has to feel important somehow.
Yeah.
Well, in Dave Filoni, we're going to have to trust. And we'll see what happens. See what he's got going. And Johnny Favreau out there. By the way, we've got some people in our audience. Shout out to Clan Brandalorian. He says, anyone else think Din Djarin is somehow going to get thrown down in the pit with Rada the Hutt, and they will have their fight scene? Kind of Luke's version of, or the version of Luke versus the Rancor there, but we get a little Mando versus Rada the Hutt.
That makes me feel like I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't know what the hell just happened.
Rada the Hutt was in Clone Wars. I think his name was Stinky in it. He was in like one of the first. No, he was the movie.
It was the film.
It was the movie. It was
the crappy film. Yeah.
Yeah. Before that
animated
series
film.
dropped, they got ripped apart. Everybody hated Ahsoka from it. Stinky was Jabba the Hutt's son. It was like a stolen baby Hutt.
That's not who the
the
guy just got cast in, right? From the
Jeremy
Bear.
Allen White.
Yeah. He's voicing the character.
He's Rada the Hutt. Yeah. So it's a grown up. You know, it's not the baby Stinky anymore. It's not quite as big as Jabba, I don't think either. But he did kind of look
muscly.
Yeah,
beefy.
muscle. Yeah, he looks like he's been doing some
Totally.
squats and curls out
Me
there.
in my younger days.
There you go, man. But yeah, we could see that happen. Also, Tony Macaroni in the chat. Sup, yo? What's up, Tony Macaroni? I like the name.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us.
Tony.
Yeah, so I think that's all I had as far as the Star Wars stuff went. We did have a couple of trailers, so we'll switch gears into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We had Thunderbolts drop a trailer, and we had Fantastic Four. So real quick, we'll talk Thunderbolts. I don't know, there wasn't a lot of new stuff in it. There's a shot in it that teases the death of one of the main characters, and I swear if that death actually happens, and it's like the thing we got with X-Men Dark Phoenix, where they teased Mystique dying, and then Mystique freaking died in the exact scene. They pretty much hinted at it in the trailer. I'll be a little upset with that, but overall, we got the Void being actually mentioned. He said, I have a void inside me or whatever, and we have this crazy villain turning people into shadows. So, JD, what did you think about this final Thunderbolt trailer?
I love the trailer. It feels like it's like the 10th trailer, but they keep doing really good trailers. This one felt so different. It was like emotionally based with Yelena. She had a couple really solid acting moments where it's like, talking to her and her dad had a couple amazing moments. Not going to try to quote it all, but my God, it looks so fun already. And now you got this like emotional thing going on, but then the Sentry kind of bugs me, dude. I don't know if I like the Sentry's rendition here. He's turning people into shadows. How are the Thunderbolts going to stop him? I don't know. I still think they're kind of hiding something. Like, I'm getting less excited that they're hiding something super special, the Asterix, Dark Avengers or something. It's probably just going to be its own little movie. I just don't know how they're going to stop the Sentry. I'm really looking forward to the team dynamic. I think it's going to be a fun movie, but they got a lot of explaining to do. Like, I just have so many questions.
Yeah. Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much more this trailer's added. It was a bit more of an emotional trailer, which was quite nice. And I'm already pretty hyped for this movie. Obviously, all the early reports say it's a stunningly good movie, so I've got quite a bit of expectations for how good it's going to be, the team dynamic. I'm still not ever sold on Yelena's accent. I don't know why. You just look at her and go, yeah, I don't buy the accent, to be fair. Maybe because obviously I know that she's English and I've heard her far more English than I have for doing foreign accents. But either way, I'm still hyped for this movie. Getting the Void name drop is so cheesy, but it's always funny. Oh, look, they named the character. But yeah, apart from this, I am hyped for the movie. I am excited for it.
All right. Love, you agree? You hyped for this? Did you see it?
Did not see it. I'm tired of all these Marvel movies dropping 10 trailers each, like, and even Superman 2. Just drop a Super Bowl or a finals, whatever you want to do, and then just let it go. Maybe drop one more after a little teaser, but they're like, oh, here's a new special look, first 5 minutes, or so it's just too much.
I agree. I miss the
Agreed.
days where we didn't get stuff just constantly exposed and told, and we just relied on, I wonder what they're going to do here, and not you see the trailer and you got 90% of the movie, but you're waiting for the one surprise that wasn't shown in the trailer. So I do agree with that. And I've tried to set a rule to not watch the newer ones, and then I always end up doing it. But
I miss the days of going to the theaters and then just seeing it pop up on the big screen. You're like, oh my God, that movie looks hella good. Like, I haven't seen anything, and I guess I gotta remember when that comes out.
yeah,
This day and age has killed movies in a lot of ways.
Yes.
I miss that too. Trailers used to just be like the vibe of the movie, never any plot points.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. fair. I think I hate it now as well when you've seen the first trailer and they release maybe a better trailer a couple of months down the line, and then you get to cinema and you see the crappy first trailer instead. Like, where's the updated trailer? Give me that one. Get me more hyped about it now. I don't want to see the crappy first one. Give me the better one.
Yeah, give me the epic one on the big screen, please. Yeah, so we'll see. That comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that is very, very close. So we'll obviously be covering that. I can't believe how close that is. Yeah, I don't know about the asterisks. I'm not even going to get into that, but well, I guess we'll see if there's something behind that or not. Fantastic Four dropped a full official trailer, though. And this one got me hyped. Really like this. I love the feel of Johnny. He feels perfect as Johnny Storm. The Thing is growing on me. The look of the Thing is definitely growing on me more and more. I wish it was growing, but yeah, I'm starting to get more used to the look here. I don't mind it. It seemed cool. It feels like there was almost a hint at the bridge. We have Silver Surfer showing up. We got our first look at Julia Garner's Silver Surfer. Galactus, we got a little shot of him walking through the city, massive boots crushing through the downtown city streets. We see him obviously overlooking as a massive figure. But Reed says, they're coming. This is my fault. I stretched the space-time continuum. Or he says something like that. That's not exactly what he says. But he essentially says he stretched space. It's his fault. They're invading. Or I think he could be referring to it's his fault that they're stuck in this universe they're in now because he stretched space. Either way, it could be a little hint at the bridge there. I thought it had a really cool vibe. The score, Michael Giacchino. I don't know if I pronounced that right. He did Batman too. I think it's Giacchino. Come on, somebody help me here.
Giacchino?
No. Michael Giacchino. Yeah, he did the Batman score, which was great. He has a lot of solid scores, and he's doing this, and I thought it was a pretty epic score here. JD, I feel like you're a little higher on the ladder as far as the Fantastic Four fandom goes. So how did you feel about this one?
Rock hard about this trailer, yes. I mean, it rocked really hard, rock and roll as wise. No, it was absolutely perfect. Even the Thing, which I can't stand that character in the comics on the big screen, no matter what. The Thing even worked for me. I love how comic accurate he looked, separating him from the previous renditions, which were just so far from comic accurate. I loved it. Love the portrayal. He's not like an obnoxious Guy Gardner style character, which also couldn't stand Guy Gardner there for a while, but I think I'm going to end up liking him too.
There you go.
Anyway, Johnny Storm looked awesome. The bridge, who he's messing with the space-time continuum. Did he do the bridge thing where he's trying to solve the problem of everything, solve the problem of just the perfect life? So he goes out into the bridge and looks at these universes, and that gains the attention of the Council of Reeds and a bunch of other threats as well. So I don't think it'll be that lore comic-y wise. It never is, unfortunately. But man, the vibes just felt so perfect. It has this interstellar mixed with comic-iness, mixed with this classic just sci-fi adventureness. It just feels so perfect. You have the first steps of Fantastic Four, Iron Man was the first movie, and you had this scene where Johnny Storm is flying up into space, testing his limits, going as high as he can go, much like the very first movie of the MCU. And it feels absolutely just beautiful. I cannot wait for this. I think it's going to develop Doomsday a lot as well. That's just hopeful thinking. But yeah, the trailer was just amazing.
Yeah, JD, you're kind of right. There was kind of some Nolan-esque vibes to the trailer when you say Interstellar, just the way it was shot. And I do like that. I love the 1960s vibe. Everything's old school.
Yeah. But futuristic.
Yeah, right.
Time. Yeah, I like it.
Some Jetson stuff going on there. I could see them taking an L at the end of this movie. Because how are you really going to defeat Galactus and Silver Surfer? So maybe...
You fool!
Have you heard of the Ultimate Nullifier? I guess not.
But I think it could be a good way to set up Doomsday to where they flee to maybe a different universe, and it's kind of like their second chance to save things when Doctor Doom shows up. I don't know.
Hey, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Doom's not mentioned once in this entire movie.
Come on. At least a little bit. He's at least a little bit. It's fantastic.
They're in a different universe, I think.
Green Goblin's not going to get mentioned in Spider-Man ever. I guarantee it.
He wasn't. I guess that's your point, maybe.
Until the third movie when he was one of the main villains.
There you go. Took 3 movies. Andy... He didn't get mentioned in Homecoming. He wasn't even in it. Andy, what did you think about the trailer?
I did enjoy the trailer. It does look obviously setting up a lot of stuff. Everyone, it was referring to the line of I stretched the bounds of space and they heard me. Everyone keeps thinking that it was referring to that's why Galactus has been drawn to the planet. I don't think so. I think he, using the bridge, exploring other universes, and that's got some attention from elsewhere. I think that's what he's referring to there for sure.
not meaning to cut you off, but they said that Franklin Richards' birth is why Galactus is coming. Didn't they say that like on an official thing? Like that's the plot of the movie.
I heard that. I don't know if it was an official bit of it, but I did hear that was what drew him to the planet.
For sure. Which is so crazy comic-wise. Anyway, go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
That's right. But yeah, in terms of... I'm not like 100% hyped for this yet. I don't know why. There's just something that I can't put my finger on that hasn't got me super hyped just yet, even though I absolutely should be. I can't put my finger on it, but it still looks great. I like the whole vibe of it, the aesthetic. I don't know whether it's the casting I've not 100% bought into yet. Even I think they all look good as the individual characters, but there's something I can't put my finger on that hasn't quite got me to the hype levels yet. We've still got time. We've still got like 3 months till it comes out, so I'm sure as it gets closer, the hype will probably build a little bit. But yeah, I cannot see any scenario where Doom isn't in this film somewhere. I always thought of it as like maybe he'd been defeated by the Fantastic Four at some point in that universe. But I think Galactus is going to win at the end of this in terms of destroying the planet, and they use the multiversal bridge to escape to the MCU main timeline. And I think Doom follows them. That's how he ends up in the main universe as well. So that's my little theory of how it's going to run out. But yep, excited for it, but there's just still something that's nagging me about this film that I can't quite put my finger on yet.
Yeah. Well, I was very skeptical of it about 2 months ago. I think I said I'm not even really excited for this at this point, weirdly enough. But this trailer did kind of bring me back into it. To address the Franklin and Galactus thing, that was just a YouTube video analysis teasing a scenario where Galactus is drawn to Franklin's immense abilities, but that wasn't actually a confirmed thing. It was just a YouTube theory. But yeah, I forgot to mention Sue's pregnant in the trailer, so Franklin Richards is on his way. I'm still... What's up?
People spotted that in the first trailer, that they edited out her
walking
pregnant
funny,
belly.
wasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is wild.
She's walking like a duck. She's probably pregnant.
Yeah.
Or
You can't say that, though.
Or Mr. Fantastic went a little crazy last night.
Stretched a little too far
She's
there,
limpy.
buddy. No, what was I just going to say?
Does his thing stretch as well?
Oh, you could do it
How do you
all.
think he's got Sue Storm?
No matter what hole there, you could fill it all, no matter what. Easy.
Jesus.
Could he be his own diaphragm?
God.
Plastic
Probably.
Man for Mr. Fantastic. Who's stronger?
Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Case closed.
Batman said he's like the biggest threat ever. Crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
he did.
Anyway.
Anyways.
But anyway, I still think the first steps part of this title is referring to their first steps getting back to their universe. So I think they're in a foreign universe in this little place they're in. And when they showed up, they became celebrities. But we'll see. I think first steps signifies at least more, other than just saying it's Fantastic Four's first movie. I think it's the first steps in a bigger story here, obviously. But I think there's first steps back to the universe. We'll see. Like Andy said, comes out in July, so we will definitely be covering that as well.
First round pick.
There you go. Lub's first round pick. So do wait for it to go to Disney Plus.
Bro, just do a new intro for Daredevil. We got 2 episodes. No, just kidding. Shut up, shut up.
That's not a bad idea.
All right. Well, you need to make a call because we're live right now. What are we doing? 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boom.
Thanks for tuning in to Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast.
All right. We're going to wrap it up here. If you're live, stay with us because we're not done yet. But if you're on Spotify, you're done. Skip to the next episode. Don't change that dial. This has been Why So Sidious Nerd Podcast. And Andy, for the people out there, if they don't listen to the next episode, I want to give you your shot here. So thank you for joining us with this. Can you please tell the fine people at home where they can find you and support you?
Thank you, guys. Always love a bit of a chat, especially Star Wars and Marvel, so I appreciate that. Fun Galactical Podcast, all across social media in terms of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to it, you'll find us on there.
Beautiful. Well, yeah, man, it's a pleasure as always. And if you're out there, you've heard him on the show before, you will hear him again, and you will hear us on his as well. So thank you again for joining us here. This was our coverage of Star Wars Celebration and the new trailers for Marvel. Tune in next time to Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast.
Hey, it's perfect for Spotify, y'all.
You want to we just keep it rolling
Yeah,
live,
y'all on
one
YouTube.
recording, and we'll just edit it? All right.
Yeah, no
We
problem.
can do that. All right. Well,
2 for 1, baby.
do I need to throw out the video again since we're not? It's going
Hell
on
no,
Spotify.
hell
yeah,
no.
no video. So play that intro music, Jamie, and it's going, and we're going, and we're going, and a welcome in to a brand new episode of Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast. I am your host, David. Here with me tonight are my co-hosts, Caleb and JD, and of course, our special guest, Andy from the Galactic Core podcast. Andy, thank you for joining us here this evening for your first time.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. Oh, we're doing the helmet things. Oh, okay. Pick one. Somebody pick one.
Come on, battery's dead. That's unreal. Obi-Wan, you're suspended. Two things. Wrong color and the battery dies. That's crazy. I don't have any masks, man.
Mando.
You guys are dicks.
Dave, you've lost control of the podcast.
All right. Anyways, thank you for joining us here tonight at our Mask Expo.